This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What a nice name.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy.
Very
this much she
crazy.
knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look
Everyone
like.
knows.
And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better.
Seeing a corpse
Then
made
she
you feel
remembered
better.
the
Maybe
meeting
you're
she
not
had
that
scheduled
normal.
for that day.
Maybe you're
the
not that
very
sane.
important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
I don't know, I feel like maybe, you stumble across like a corpse. Maybe you don't get like some weird schadenfreude if you're sane.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something?
It
He
looks
hoped
pretty
it
much the
was.
same as it was
He
before,
hoped very
but-
much that it was.
The coat's gone.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yep. This didn't have a sign before. Sorry, I need the bathroom now. I don't have a reflection. Actually, nothing does. I think this mirror's broken. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. Seems about right. What? The narrator has things to say about when I fall out the map and not when I go to the bath. Fair enough. What's in here? What? Oh. I just noticed what the painting actually is. I saw the panda, I didn't know what the other part was. Well, this is just sad. Jammer. My jam. I'm just imagining someone like the elevator opens and you see someone just like dancing and teabagging to the music. We're just like stuck here forever now. The narrator's not saying anything. This is the longest elevator ride. Oh, no, okay. Interesting. Oh. Well, that was a vibe. Aha! I found it. Secrets. Bunk. 2 more.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled,
This
Stanley
isn't the
wondered
same
in
office as
disbelief
last time.
who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from
Is it
him.
Night Shark
And so the boss
115?
had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845.
2855.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I think your piano's broken. I've already forgotten what the code was.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
That's spooky. Spooky. Yeah, I have a thing for that. There we go, now a spooky nod. Oh, wait a second.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
Titties.
Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Not titties. Okay, just almost die.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control
blinding.
Facility.
Sure.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Well, time to go die.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Every opportunity.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yep. This is true. I forgot my long fall boots. Or not, apparently.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
Oh, what?
And so he resigned and willingly
like that's
accepted this
pretty painful.
violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Goodbye, world.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Who the heck are you?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
I don't know, what does the new narrator think they're going to accomplish?
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Ah, the chase. I do wonder if there's like actual, like behind the scenes thing looks at like their planning. Like the little notes they say about them. What did they actually say about this? Is the spooky terminal in here? I could. Selection of sounds used throughout the game where buttons are pressed. Keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. You can make Druid's dance song out of that. You can totally make songs out of these. Not that one. Oh, well, here's the credits. Well, I see things over here, so... the office. Maintenance room. Early version. Ultra Deluxe announcements. Wall. Narrator emails. So the second trailer asked people to email the narrator for questions. Promotional materials, I never found the perfect use for them. There's a selection of ways. Humorously small badger in swim trunks. Interesting. I don't think that's counting down. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is actually pretty cool. Just looking at all like the behind the scenes stuff. What's this one? Zending model? What's a Zending? That's definitely Portal. Well, we haven't found the Zending yet, whatever that is. Countdown desk. Modern room elevator. That's scary. Let's check out the few little bits over here before we go there. Game design mockup. It looks a lot like Portal, which I'm not complaining about. I like Portal. Stanley's office. The evolution over time. Kinda don't like how this section is like, you can go behind that and there's like a little space. I feel like it should have either been flush with the wall or more space. But here they just kind of blocked it up. Through this way.
Oh,
you're
look
back,
at
are
these
you?
two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
I assume she's talking about me and the narrator.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path.
But what if I
Stop
don't?
now and this be your only true choice. Whatever you
Ara,
do,
ara.
choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Oh, well, I'm dead. Well.
Go to the meeting room.
Aha.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Gotcha.
No
One
matter how
left.
hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. 2845.
Pretty
But
sure
of course,
did I-
Stanley couldn't
no, I did.
possibly have known this.
2,
Yet incredibly,
4,
by
5.
simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the
8, 4,
correct
5.
code
That was
by
almost there.
sheer luck.
Sheer
Amazing.
luck. Amazing.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Very scary. Back on the elevator of doom.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Alright, fine.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to
What
himself.
horrible
Did he
secret
have
did this
the
place
strength
hold?
to find out?
Do I have the strength to find out? Just making sure there's no, like, secret monitor.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
528 is weird. Do you remember what, oh, that fired. What Stanley's number was? Well, I can't remember. I don't really see a room.
This mind control facility, it was too
Pirate?
horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Oh, on the elevator we go.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it?
Unthinkable.
Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire
But
life
the real question
utterly
is,
blind
if
to
Stanley
the
was
world?
happy just pressing buttons, does it really matter that he was brainwashed? I mean, if it
But
brought
here
him
was the proof,
happiness.
the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
Plus, it's
happy
turned off right
or
now.
sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began
1,
to sink in,
2.
Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
5. Something up there. 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
I mean, you know what I have to do. You put a button turning on the mind control, you know I'm gonna press the button.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Mind control.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do.
Control
You were
people's
supposed to
minds?
let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's
don't know if that
desires.
one counted,
Oh,
'cause
this
it
is
was
much
the
better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Mere moments
little
until
time.
the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going,
Where are
what
we
all
going?
this means.
What
I
does it all
barely
mean?
know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
Oh yeah, that
A
one
moment of
answer.
solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free.
Sounds
Of course,
pretty
that
evil,
was
my
merely
dude.
in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then
I
dying
think one didn't
alone.
count.
Other times, I let the
One
office sink
then.
into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of
sounding
everything
kinda
and
evil,
take
my
back the
dude.
control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure
Almost.
whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left.
Oh my
But I'm
God,
enjoying
silly,
this
yeah.
so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock.
Thanks,
Why
man.
not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow
Definitely.
on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you
Very
just
like a
assume when you saw
Secret
that
Six or
timer
something like
that
that.
something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you.
On a temperament.
Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons.
Not
No,
doing anything.
these colored ones. Or maybe this big red
Colored
button.
ones.
Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
5. Okay, I'll press 5.
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every
5.
moment that
They're all
you're
just saying
powerless.
5.
To see you made humble.
Green? 5
This is
green?
not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine.
Incorrect.
But I'm going to
1.
destroy it first, so you
I don't have
can't.
enough time for this.
Take a look at the clock,
Blind
Stanley.
liaison.
That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle.
Well-
30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately
There's
to
definitely
your frail
something to the
life,
buttons.
or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Well, rip Stanley. There's something with the buttons. It's on the screens, but I don't know. I think I have to press like number
When
plus
Stanley
color.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's try that again.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator
Nope.
talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
More jammers, let's go.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway. 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind.
3.
What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes
3.
off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you,
and then
about me, where we're going,
Sneaky
what all this means. I barely know where to start.
Okay, well, I
What's
sent
that?
a power surge.
You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna
3.
die anyway. I'll tell you
And
exactly
blue.
what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free.
Wait, dark blue.
Of course,
1.
that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Just blue 3.
Other times,
Dark blue
I
1.
let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it
just-
burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather
still
amusing.
disabled now. Back
Watching you
up.
try
I
to
don't
make sense
understand.
of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness,
understand the
only
colour
34
buttons.
seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra
Dark
time on the
blue.
clock. Why not?
1, it said.
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
Graphic provided.
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable
don't-
of turning it off? I mean,
I don't
look
really
at
get
you.
it.
Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this
If
room.
I do blue,
These
then
numbered
gray.
buttons. No,
Incorrect.
these colored ones. Or maybe this
Okay.
big red button.
Okay.
Or this door.
Well,
everything, anything.
Looks
Something
like I
here
have
will
to press the
save
number
me.
first.
Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? But you really believe there's an answer? How many times will you replay this bit, looking desperately for a solution? 10? 100? 1,000?
I don't know,
I
I'm
look forward to
confused.
finding out and to watching the bomb go off each time you fail. Just you and me and the retching explosion of fire and metal
Incorrect.
over and over
I
and
don't
over
get
for
it.
all of eternity.
I'll be
And
honest, I have no
Stanley
idea.
died again. And Stanley died again. And Stanley died
I'm gonna find
again.
the colour and the button.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley.
Doesn't
That's
do
30
anything.
seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail
Yeah,
life?
I don't
Or will
know.
you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
I don't understand. I press the colour, I press the number. If I press the colour first, it says no. If I press the number first, it's fine, but it doesn't do anything. I have absolutely no idea how that works.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked
Well, I can try
upstairs
just
to
turning
his
it
boss's
off.
office.
But I mean, there's gotta be something. I know it's like taunting me, but there has to be something somewhere. Like actually a solution. There's clearly something.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise. Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
You're not
For
sure.
he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
I doubt it's a problem. Sure.
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp?
Yep,
What
lots
other
of
mysteries did this
questions,
strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized
Is
none
it
of
really
this mattered
sunlight,
to him.
or is it
For
all
it
just
was not
fate?
knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps
weren't
his
you already
goal had
happy
not been to
before
understand, but to let go.
Leaving? But
No
still he's
longer
happy
would
in his
anyone
place.
tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Doesn't look much like a dog, sure.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Wow, what a nice story.